I wouldn't think that I would see all this automation, and I do everywhere at Spark R&D.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's kind of unassuming in that respect. Like, people come in here all the time, and I give tours, and our marketing give tours, and they see the sheer amount of machines. This is in Montana. This is, you know, you guys are way big. I was expecting one machine, two machines, you know, just one or two people, and, you know, we have a full manufacturing facility. What we make here is we make a Splitboard binding that, you know, for people out there who don't exactly know, and maybe you don't know too much as well, but what we do is it's essentially like a Nordic ski that you can use to get up to the top of the mountains into the backcountry rather than go in resort, you know, up at Big Sky or Bridger Mountain here in town. You know, we make the bindings that attach onto the Splitboards so that you can get out into the backcountry and enjoy the beautiful environment that we have here.
You see a logo over here, it says MIDACO. Well, you also see a couple of Haas machines, vertical milling centers. And vertical milling centers, they do their job. 3-axis machines, they're gonna come down, they're gonna cut parts, usually pretty rigid. They do what they're supposed to do. 3-axis, XYZ style machines.
Yeah.
But oftentimes, and as we've already mentioned, automation.
Right.
And your business continues to grow. 16 years old, I believe, at this time.
Yep.
But continuing, I mean, the building, you've now doubled that space. You got a building across the street, you're getting into that space. So people are paying attention to the really great technology that you have actually patented, which can only be found here. So let's talk about, firstly, the importance of automation, Thomas.
Well, the importance of automation in a shop like this is really big because, I mean, you know, people who are coming to work here don't necessarily have like the biggest background in manufacturing because, like you said earlier, you know, Montana's not exactly known for its massive manufacturing industry or, you know, huge factories. It's not like, you know, Tesla's really itching to get to Bozeman. So automation's played a huge role in, you know, making the lives of our operators way easier, you know, workflow, reloading, making, you know, things run as fast and as accurate as possible. So with these machines and, you know, now with the MIDACO added onto them, I mean, it's a massive improvement that we've seen. So,
you know, for the audience watching right now, guys, I talk about MIDACO. I've done this before where we talk about the importance of being able to keep the machines running. You know, it's spindle downtime that often is the, you know, the crutch in producing a real profitability, and MIDACO helps with that. And so we know that it's not rocket science to go, okay, if I keep my spindle running, I'm gonna make more money. I'm gonna be more efficient. But being here with you, Thomas, at Spark R&D, there's more to it than that, because in an 8-hour shift, you might lose about an hour of productivity because of you're cleaning off the parts and putting new parts in. But in my head, even though an hour is important to notice and pay attention to, because you're getting 40 to 60 parts extra in that hour, which you need to do, I'm also thinking about how big your setups are and how much downtime must play into the setup of the entire masterpiece you're creating, not just the on-off of the parts. Would you see a real benefit in that?
Absolutely. So what we've done is we've kind of maximized the efficiency inside of the mill. So the space that we have, you know, the footprint of inside of the mill to be able to move a machine, we've maximized that to about what we can handle, you know, and we've done that by creating these massive fixtures that you can see right here. And that does a couple of things for us. One, it makes, you know, the part cycle times longer. So that was one of our ways to actually maximize this machine. But the other thing it does is in turn makes more parts, which, you know, is a great thing. However, that making more parts makes more downtime when you're reloading those parts. So without these MIDACO pallets, you're in here, you're unloading 96 parts, you know, where it used to be, you know, 30, 40 parts. Now is 96. That takes way longer. So that 15-minute, you know, downtime that you get when you're reloading these parts is now, you know, way more within that 8-hour shift. So,
and that to me, Thomas, is the cutting side of things, which, I mean, we need it, right? We need to pay attention to that. But when I'm looking at a piece like this, it's heavy. You've actually split it into two. And how many of the people out there, how many of you out there right now are taking hours of setup time when it comes to a new fixturing you're putting into the machine? And I know you have to do that quite often, a new fixturing. You'll even run even the same pallet to cut parts while setting that up. Imagine everyone out there who has that hours and hours and hours of setup time. Have you seen benefit there as well?
Absolutely, yeah. And with these pallets, I mean, just what you're saying, you know, if one pallet is not exactly up and set up and completely running perfectly fine, we will typically have the other one running, and we'll do it the old style, a little bit more grueling in that, you know, it's 96 parts that you still have to take in and out, but you have the setup outside of the machine to take off these massive fixtures, you know, that can weigh 25 pounds each that you have to lift in and out. If you do that outside of the machine, you have spindle time that you're running while you're doing that. So that's a huge benefit. And not only for like our operators, but for our machinists that have to do that, right? We have something about 40, 45 SKUs just on the vertical machines here, which, you know, we have to set up for these, you know, twice a week potentially, you know. We have to run flat parts, we have to run 3D parts, things like that, that changeovers are a real thing in this industry. So helping anywhere we can in that respect is huge. Cutting down in that is very difficult without, you know, something like this, you know. You can go into fastening and, you know, ball locks and all of that technical stuff, but it really comes down to, is your spindle running? So that's what we've tried to focus on here, and we've seen, especially in a horizontally dominant machine shop, it was easy to see that having 2 pallets is way better. You know, it's like if you own a bakery, you know, you don't have one pan that you wait for the bread to come out, and then you take it out, you clean it, you put the, you know, everything back on there, put it back in, and then wait for it again. You know, you have 2 pans. So that's exactly what we've tried to do here.